What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Tony at the weekly close, here to report on the art of the charts and share the latest trends, thoughts and analysis from different minds all in one place. Kicking off week 19 with the title being Standing on a Cliff Edge. So we're going to kick off some feedback from the first video from Glassnode, the title being This Week on Chain Bitcoin Fee Pressure Explodes Higher. And this kind of highlights from the first dashboard the number of transactions hitting all-time high due to lots of really small blocks, small transactions taking place, which kind of soared the total transaction fees for all of the tests and all of the fun everybody was having with ordinals to all-time highs and unprecedented levels. And then an interesting bit of feedback being played back to us is the slowing down of new address momentum. How that the monthly activity, the monthly average of new addresses was for a certain point here. It had the blue line being the yearly average. It had surpassed it, retested and continued, and now it's pulling back towards that yearly average. Earlier from Marzel, we had this video on an ETH price update that was branded Moneyball Shock, with this highlighting of the head and shoulders pattern currently in play and this neckline, although it looks like something other than a head and shoulders, and essentially the suggestion of if this does break to the downside, most of the time it tends to, obviously it would be the full depth from the very height to the neckline breaking to the downside, which would be a hell of a price reduction if that was at as a 2100 down to 18. So we're talking about going down to say 1500 or lower. While it was also kind of highlighting this kind of this converging of resistance and support, suggesting that this continuing downward resistance would kind of give a bit of a head buffer at 1920. Further on top of that head and shoulders formation, and then looking at the total free, this kind of suggestion, take with the exception of the three biggest cryptos of all the altcoins, this increase, this kind of breakout to the upside, which is a theme that Crypto Michael will be talking about on the subject of Bitcoin dominance. So this potential break up to the upside, hence why everyone is keeping an eye on alt season at the moment. And then looking at gold for all this kind of speculation moving forward with regards to a lot of the questions, the flight to safety, when you look at the Apple and all the big names as well, in light of all of the regional banking crisis. We've got gold forming a cup and handle, generally a bullish pattern suggesting a breakout to the upside. And here we have the video earlier in the week from Jason Casper, the always emergency update, just highlighting the really kind of close, whenever we're moving in such a strict range as this, showing the kind of the value area with this entire move. The pertinent question that was asked was, look for what wrecks retail most, and it was just highlighting on this smaller time frame, this 3-minute time frame, after all of this sideways movement, it was this liquidity run to the upside and then this pulling of price down, totally wrecking the longs and the shorts in that trade. And then moving on to Stavros Tousios for earlier in the week, Elliott Waves on crypto, covering a bit of BTC. And again, it's just highlighting that the larger scale correction is still in play. What we've got here, A, B, C of the B, and then a forward and a C further to the downside. So essentially this correction, until it breaks, essentially I would presume beyond this this lower high of this pattern, the Y of the second wave being shown here, essentially this correction could potentially still be in place. So it'd be interesting to keep an eye on at the moment, but that's on the higher time frame. That's looking at on the daily. But if we go down to the 8 hourly, it's us looking at what is essentially the 1 into the 2. It's the 5 waves of this movement continuing to the upside. So this 1 essentially, looking for that pullback. If that is the head and shoulders that we were just kind of observing, it is suggesting the breakout to the downside to this lower band of support down at the 23k. And then looking at something different from once, for more crypto, the kind of an update on Polygon, the continuous downward trend, the sideways correction, but here we have the 5 waves to the downside, 1 to 2. This is the 5 waves making up the 3, and anticipating the 4 and the 5 to make up that wave 2 before continuing further upwards. And then this is what I was just referring to with regards to coins and the like, and to looking at dominance is the market cap BTC. This was from Crypto Michael earlier in the week, when to buy altcoins, and this kind of question of the anticipation of Bitcoin dominance to hit its head under this former support to then pull back, with BTC making up kind of 49% of total market cap at the moment, but expecting that to waver, especially as we move forward into the halvings and the season. And then the alternative chart, looking at the market cap others dominance, which is basically the inverse, with the exception of the top 10 of the largest cryptos, looking to try find support. So until we kind of find a floor for any of these in the 9 and the 7% regions that have been highlighted previously, it was only once we kind of start establishing the lower highs of these can we start questioning BTC dominance and the beginning of altcoin season. So not much to kind of report other than keeping an eye on the head and shoulders pattern, potentially breaking to the downside on both the BTC and those ETH charts. And if that is to take place, there's a correction for BTC down to 22k on those charts. And then if that does happen, we can keep an eye generally on the waning dominance of BTC and the beginning of a potential altcoin season. If you've got any comments or questions or references, drop them in the video below. Otherwise, I'll see everyone in the next video.